The Super Mario games aren't particularly referred to as difficult video games, as the games are mostly leveled and balanced experiences wholly meant for the sole purpose of having fun. This even spans to the many boss battles encountered throughout each installment, minor or major. Yet there is always that one boss that we all experience and wonder to ourselves immediately, geesh, could I have an easier time playing competitive Shaq Fu? So who really is the easiest boss of them all? It could very well perhaps be Boom Boom. Could it possibly be Bowser Jr. from Super Mario Bros. DS? Or maybe it could be Topper from Super Mario. No, your video is not lagging. Boom Boom is the correct answer, specifically his appearance in Super Mario Bros. 3. This has been brought up in prior videos, and it's been a vexation for me for a very long time, to the point where I've just given up drinking my cocaine-laced coffee and decided to make an obnoxious video about it here today. So, what and who exactly is the notorious Boom Boom? Well, considering the Super Mario 3 manual just gives me nothing important, I'll give you my own explanation. Boom Boom is a mini-boss from Super Mario Bros. Yeah, that's all you actually really need to know about this brainless character. He's a magnum anus deformity, cranky and having a hissy fit over the fact that he isn't even considered a Koopa. That's probably why he's taking all of his effortless anger out on Mario and Luigi upon encounter. Jeez, who griefed his Minecraft house. Boom Boom will move around in the room in a predictable fashion, oftentimes twirling himself to bear his spikes, and will sometimes moon jump over you in hopes that diversity will make him look less stupider. Every time you stomp on his head, he drinks a bite of testosterone and gradually gets faster for every stomp. Besides this, you encounter him in many molds throughout Mario 3. He can appear with wings, he can appear with platforms, and I doubt those things were even placed there with his own mind, and actually that's about it. Because of this lack of innovation, evidently by how Boom Booms have no sense or worth in the originality and structure department, it's painfully easy to beat this meathead. All you have to do is stomp on his head 3 times or shoot him with 5 fireballs. This is so much easier than it sounds because he stands in place after he gets stomped on, meaning you can repeatedly curb stomp this guy and beat him faster than a Clue PC speedrun. This is what makes him so easy, because there is no real innovation or advancement in gameplay for this boss, and the method of defeating him can be daisy-chained so easily that it just makes this fight a breeze. Comparing this to some of the other Mario bosses considered easy throughout the years is yet again more proof to my obviously perfect opinion. Most of the Koopalings in Mario 3, while similar in defeat and just simply overall more major of bosses, at least jump away from you and have a brain capacity to use weapons. Boom Boom has 3 stomps to the head. King Bob-omb from Super Mario 64 is another notorious example of an easy boss. Differences between King Bob-omb and Boom Boom being that one requires effort, and one is the equivalent of parking a fucking scooter in a vacant parking lot. In all seriousness, King Bob-omb requires weightlifting and a slightly more advanced mindset and control scheme, as defeating him requires learning new button inputs. Boom Boom, on the other hand, requires jumping on his head 3 times in place. What about another obnoxiously straightforward boss fight with Lord Crumb? Well, you could probably bring in the argument that he's a tutorial boss, meaning that he's very easy to defeat. However, I will rebuttal and point out that he actually improves in difficulty later in the game with many different forms, unlike Boo Boo, who injures his self-esteem even more by almost never making any attempts to fix his act and make his segments more challenging. You've got the Resnors from Super Mario World, which actually come pretty close to Boom Boom, honestly, in terms of difficulty, also including the Mario DS2 version. Except the floor eventually becomes lava for Resnors, and so you're under the strict time limit the whole time. While yes, you have a timer in Mario 3 while fighting Boom Boom, 280 of those seconds could be used for cooking a batch of Tostinos, while 7 of the last seconds can literally be used to defeat him. Dead serious. Some more fresh examples off the kitty menu here is the Big Wiggler from Mario 64, where despite his similarities and anger issues with Boom Boom, both gain speed every time you step on their head, the Wiggler has the advantage of, you know what? Actually, Wiggler and Boom Boom are basically the same, except one is angry for a legitimate reason. Boom! Boom Boom is confirmed easier than Wiggler. And finally, what is considered the most pathetic Mario boss of all time, Chan, is still harder than Boom Boom. One reason? Because Chan is a Buzzy Beetle. He possesses the passive to be resistant to fire. Meanwhile, it just takes 5 fireballs to defeat Boom Boom. And if you have a problem defeating Chan or Boom Boom, then you're just not a true pro gamer like me, it seems. After some of these examples, Boom Boom just needs a simple penile lobotomy at this point, because that's just more painless than having to embarrass yourself from the same method of defeating him. If you want a pure challenge, just go play some fucking League of Legends with a zillion pipe organs. Unlike many other easy Mario bosses throughout the times, where there is some blueprint or plethora required to defeat them individually, Boom Boom is just an assload of sorrow, all because of one awkward and gimmicky head stomp loop. They did happen to improve slightly on the easiness of the boss in later installments by making him, well, harder. Even then, he's still easy, and beating him is certainly not worth the Xbox achievement. Judge me all you want over my cruel opinion and fixation on a fictional character's difficulty, but it's still still stands that my opinion is the true one to rule them all, and if you think otherwise, you just suck at video games. Thus, includes my intelligent thesis, Super Mario 3 Boom Boom is perhaps the easiest Super Mario boss of all time. And at this point, I'd consider King Dice easy. This drink definitely did not provide any evidence, rationality, or validity to the points in my video.